Hi, this is Roy Grimwis, and you are listening to Kilroy Podcast.
Hello man, this is Bari Gul. So I'm still stuck here in Dirawood with a lot of problems. So I can see your face and I can think that we've been together for a long time, but I exactly cannot remember your name. So, and I think you're from Hadrian Camp, right?
On the 12th of July, 2020, I unexpectedly got in touch with one of our former interpreters via Facebook, with whom I served in Afghanistan 13 years before. I decided to help him in his escape from Afghanistan, and during his escape, I got help from his best friend Wali. This is their story about their escape from Afghanistan.
My name is Bari Gul, and my father's name is Abdul Khalik from Uruzgan province, from Dirawood district. And I'm like 38 years old now. I have 4 kids, 3 sons and 1 daughter. So in total, 6 people here in the Netherlands right now. I started work with the Dutch triplet from 2005 almost to 2008. We started work with the Dutch army as an interpreter. I was like almost the first hired interpreter with the Dutch army in Dirawood while there was no Hadrian camp yet. So we were living with some of the Dutch soldiers in the tents. So after that, the Hadrian camp built up. So we moved from those tents to Camp Hadrian. Walking patrols, operations, walking around with the village elders and meeting with the Shurap elders and district chief, police chief, A&A commanders. Also some fighting in the area.
This is Bari Gul. He was one of the very first interpreters for the Royal Dutch Army in Uruzgan. We lived in Deterwood, where we had a camp called Camp Hadrian. On the 12th of July 2020, exactly 13 years after I came back from Afghanistan, I found him on Facebook when I was searching for pictures of what Deterwood looks like now. First, let's look at the Dutch mission in Uruzgan. The mission ran from 2006 till 2010, in which the Dutch got famous about the Dutch approach. The mission was built around the PRT, Provincial Reconstruction Team, that held talks with high-ranking people in the region, such as mullahs and tribal leaders. Based on these talks, it was decided whether we could start reconstruction projects or whether safety had to be guaranteed. And that's where the interpreters came in handy. They translated, helped us with cultural differences, monitored the environment, and eavesdropped on the Taliban with listening devices and advised us. Barigul, can you tell us what your work was for the Royal Dutch Army back in the days?
Moving around all the, joining all the operations with the Dutch Army, meeting with all local elder, the district chief, and the police chief, the ANA commander. So all together operations also around in the area and walking patrols, all those things with together with the Dutch Army.
Okay, and what kind of missions did you do?
The missions that we have been doing, so mostly the Dutch people, they were like with the PRT, with the reconstruction team, and also sometimes we get involved in different things, meeting with the local people, with the tribal leader, and of course sometimes with the firefight operation. So the enemy has to attack, don't let you to build something or do something. We had to go to a school for the resupplying some notebooks and books and all those things. But of course, the enemy will attack you. But I was a part of those missions also.
Yeah.
Going to the Shura every day. Every Thursday, handling those meetings and translating for them with the ANA and all.
But what did you do when you left your job with us?
Yeah, and then after 2008, also busy with my family at home, mostly. Yeah, also dealing with the American for a short period, and then after that, when everyone was gone, so I moved to my house. Decided to stay at home and just like a normal local, and also voluntarily at teaching some English classes in some schools close to Deterwood City.
Can you explain to us what a normal life looks like in Deterwood?
A normal life in Deterwood, it's some like what I have experienced from a normal life. Yeah, it's a really enjoyable life. You can sit with your friends. You have a kind of piece of land, so you provide all the stuff that you need from for your family. So you cover your family needs from that piece of land. But my normally life, it's you can sit with your friends. You can just walk by or drive by to your friend, like any part of the area. You spend the day, you spend the night, or they can come by. You walk to the city, sit in the tea house or tea shop. They drink tea together, or you go to somewhere to a garden. yeah, eat some kind of fruits together. So that's a kind of normal life. It's like a really you like enjoying every part of spending that time with the people. Um, yeah, it's like a very easy. Um, you're walking by with any friends and anywhere you want to go. You didn't have any kind of responsibility for anything. You're just like free to go.
And how did you provide for your family?
What I was providing for my family for that during the normal life, it's like a local life or normal life is like I was making some part of money from the school, and also I had a little piece of land, just a little bit of working on that land, so some of the um, needs was provided from like some stuff was provided by that land. Like you put a wheat in it or corn or whatever, so you get some stuff from that land too.
Uh, to sell it,
Yeah, so you
or use it yourself, or
yeah you
sell
grew
it?
up you grew some wheat in it for the flour, so you keep some flour for yourself for making bread on it, and then the extra stuff you sell it. With the money you can buy other stuff of the family.
When did you apply for a Dutch visa?
My first apply for the visa for the process, it was end of 2019. I think somewhere in September. That I sent the email. Yeah, but most of the emails been taking longer and longer. No answer, no reply, no answer. That was the time that everything was worse and we were breathing in the very last moment. I actually didn't know what to do, and then 2020 starts. I still been sending emails and emails to get in touch with the Dutch embassy. And this was the time also the police chief, Shah Mohammed, got killed. So Shah Mohammed was alive, so we could do everything freely. But when he was killed, his brother took over, and then the Taliban thought that the real power is gone now. They didn't care about his brother because his brother couldn't control anything. So the Taliban got really closer. And we've been sending every day 2 or 3 emails to the embassy. Sometimes reply like, okay, we are working on it on your process. Or sometimes the reply will just disappear. And then I finally got in touch with you.
Can you tell us more about Shah Mohammed? I think his nickname was Shah.
Shah
Or
Muhammad, it was his real name. But most of the people would call him Shah. It's just like it's a nickname and an easy name just to call him Shah. And he also liked it to be called Shah. He was very happy with that. Shah Muhammad was the ASG commander with the American forces since 2002, then all the way to the end until the American were leaving, and then he became a police chief of Dehrawood, the police commander. During Shah Muhammad's time, he controlled the whole district. You would, yeah, everyone was happy. No stealing from the people, no fighting. Mm, there was no rule for anything. It's everyone was free for his own life to do like a previously I said about a normal life or local life. He was really he was a really Taliban chaser. There would be an attack on the checkpoint, but the moment that he will call on the radio and the Taliban heard his voice, and then after that, nobody will shoot on the checkpoint. Everyone was just trying to be honored to run away. Um, yeah, he was a really brave guy, and he was a really He had a really an honor to serve the people of Dehrawood with his honesty. Um, Always driving by his own. He didn't have eyes. He was driving with one of his bodyguard. His bodyguard was his eye and his weapon in his driver. So the only thing he was doing is just calling on the radio and commanding people what to do. That was the only thing he's doing. He couldn't see anything. His both eyes were completely 100% blind. It was even out of his eyeballs were completely destroyed. But he was more active than the people who had eyes. He was really his brother has his brother is not even he's like a really healthy guy. When he took over, he couldn't do anything. He didn't do 1% of Shah Muhammad. So when Shah Muhammad was, for some cases, he was invited to TK to turncoat by the local prosecutor, uh, the local counselor. They invited him for some reason, for some discussion to be cleared. He was invited to TK and then he was ambushed in TK and killed. And that was the time that everything starts.
Do you think it was a setup to get them to TK
Yeah,
for the ambush?
yeah. There was a boy in one of his checkpoint. It was like a underage. Um, the father of that underage guy called to the court that my son is in checkpoint. And Shah Muhammad said, yes, the father can come and take his son, and take it home. And they said, no, you have to come to TK. We have to talk to you about that. And Shah Muhammad said, the problem is solved. The father can come to the police station. I have his son with me, or I will have it so he can take his son. And they said, no, you have to come to TK. But for some reason, the plan was already set up. They took him to TK. So they were talking to him. So they will make him go to drive between some offices from this house to another, from that point to another, just to make him move around. And somewhere in between, inside the city, he was ambushed and killed. So I'm sure it was a setup.
What happened when the Dutch troops left Derawood?
Yeah, when the Dutch troops left, the American together with the Australian, but most part of it, well, the American they took over. Um, they were there for a short time, but they also left. When they left, they handed over the camp to the ANP and to the ANP to the police.
And when did the Americans left?
It was like 2014.
Okay, so they stay 4 years.
Yeah, they stayed 4 years. 2014, then everybody was gone from Debrawood. Camp Hadrian, yeah, I was there. Camp Hadrian was handed over to the police. And when the Americans were gone, the police started work on the camp, destroying everything, taking all the wires out, selling it to the people, all the containers, all the HESCOs. Yeah, so everything was just it was stolen down. And the Camp Hadrian, if you see it now, you will never think like there was a camp over there. It's just like a level desert. That's it. Only there was one tree by the interpreter house. Sometime I was walking by that tree just for my memory. I was giving some water to that tree just to remember my time. And I was really scared and hidely going there secretly. Nobody can see me. Otherwise, people will ask me why you're coming by here, what you doing. Because those people who are in power, they want to have everything from the Hadrian, all the containers, HESCOs, all woods, all kind of metal things. And they won't let anybody else to walk by to take somebody from the Hadrian. So they were taking everything. So it's just a level desert now.
But what happened with the stuff from Hadrian?
It's a lot of shopkeepers in downtown. So some shopkeepers like carpenters, they would buy the woods. Some other people that worked with metals and iron beams and stuff, they will buy the containers and they will load it and send it to Kandahar, and then from Kandahar it's directly going to Pakistan.
When the Dutch left in 2010, um, did change something in the district?
Yeah, a lot. I seen some big changes when before 2010, when I was with the Dutch people. The Dutch army, especially the PRT team, to walk around in the area or drive around in the area, drive by the school, resupply all the schools and build the schools, and uh, a lot of bridges and roads that were built by the Dutch PRT and the Dutch army. But when they left, so everything stopped, and even I was getting questioned by some people like, why is nothing getting done when the American is taking over? Because the American were there for a short time. They didn't have time to do things. They were only there to take over and then leave. Yeah, and after that, everything stopped automatically. There was no resupply for the school, no school books, no notebooks, no rebuilding, no building of the school, of the bridges, of the roads. And that was the first time it started getting worse with the security issues. The Taliban thought that there is no reinforcement, so they had to think about turning back from Helmand, from other provinces, getting close to Dehrawood. Some part of Dehrawood started attacking and got all the way to the district center.
Can you remember the first time we met again on Facebook?
The first time it was end of 2020, right?
July 2020.
July 2020. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that day I was really bored and worried, and I really didn't know what to do. And I was playing with my phone, and people, uh, a list of people, and I see your face. I can remember the face, but it's been like 13 years after, right? Something like that.
14 years.
14 years,
Yeah.
and I was thinking like I seen this guy, but I don't know who he is. I saw the name on the Facebook, but I couldn't remember, and I sent you a message.
Hello, man. This is Bari Gul. So I'm still stuck here in Derawood with a lot of problems. So I can see your face and I can think that we've been together for a long time, but I exactly cannot remember your name. So, and I think you're from Hadrian camp, right?
Yeah, and from that time we got in touch. So you speed up a lot of things for me because before that I didn't have a real hope that my process will be finished and I can make it. But since I got in touch with you and some stuff speeded up already and worked, and I found a hope that it is going to work. So I've been talking to you every day and waking you up early in the morning because of the difference of the time. So if it's 9 o'clock in Afghanistan, it's going to be like uh, very early in the morning, like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I just been calling you and messaging you and waking you up like, hey, this is happening. Embassy is not answering. And then, okay, I will send an email or I send a message. So from that place to another, so it worked.
Yeah, but you did a lot of things for me too, also. Because I asked you, can you make a video or a photo of Hadrian?
Yeah.
And you made it. Opiava, you make a nice video for me. And yeah, that's a thing I won't forget because um, yeah, I got out of Uruzgan and never went back, never could look back. And after the Dutch troops left, I always wondered how would it be at the moment in Deer Wood, and you gave me these answers, and a lot of veterans also, because I post this stuff on Facebook, and it just exploded with the veterans. And wow is Deer Wood? Where's Camp Hadrian? What's happening over there?
Yeah, the moment that you asked me to make a video, I was trying to make a video. I will go with the another guy, mostly with Wally, and been helping. Um, yeah, it was a desert. It was looking hard for me to make a video because the people who think there is Hadrian, but I will just go to a desert. There is no Hadrian. It was like, wow, what I'm going to send to those people? Just a level desert. They think they want to see Hadrian, but there is no Hadrian over there. And also the same time that some people were placed in Lebanon, like north of Hadrian, if they would think that you are not a local or you're making a video or something, they will shoot you with a sniper. So I told the ANA people just not to come and not to ask me what I'm doing. I just want to play local on the middle of the desert on the Hadrian. So I did that video locally, and then I went to the ANA checkpoint, hiding behind the Hescos because you cannot climb up to the Oviaba up to the top. Because the sniper was just sitting there for 24 hours. Whoever is walking the stairs up to the high tower, they will just laze you and shoot you from far away from the green zone. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wally was first time I met him. He was making a video of Roller Coaster Hill.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I remember.
He was driving in the car.
Yeah. When I called him, like, where are you? My friend asked me if we can have a video around the roller coaster. And he was like, oh, I am already over there helping with somebody measuring the ground. And I was like, okay, if we can start doing that, on the way back you are coming. So he did that from the roller coaster, driving through all the way to Hadrian. Yeah, Wally was most part of those works. Wally was a part of it in helping.
Next time, in Escape from Afghanistan.
I am fine. No problem on my side. I'm okay. I'm at the AA camp. I'm trying to get out as soon as I can. I'm just waiting for you guys to work on my flight to get out of this country.
Thanks for listening. If you like this podcast, please tell your family and friends about it. If you want to learn more about this podcast, visit kilroy-podcast.com.